Hello, friends. I am so glad you're here with me today. I hope wherever you are, you're having a lovely day, but it's very likely that you are having a cold, rainy day like I am here. If you're in the United States, there's just a whole swath of dreadful weather going across most of the country right now. So it has been very cold and rainy. However, it has been springtime in my craft room. So let's go ahead and change our camera view and take a look at our sweet spring project that we're going to work on today. All right, so here is what I came up with for this week, and I just love the Hey Chickadee stamp set. I think it is so precious and it is so fun to color up, and I will show you today how I created the spring vibe going on this card. So the first step is I stamped out my images from the Chickadee stamp set. And if you do not have the Chickadee stamp set, it is one of the stamp sets that is in the warehouse clearance right now. So if you don't have this, now's a great time to grab that. It's a really sweet set. And to give it the springtime vibe that I wanted it to have, I stamped it in the London Fog. Often, we just automatically stamp in our black ink, but sometimes when you want a softer look, it's a good idea to go with a gray instead. So that is what I have done here. So to color these up, I'm just going to color a few images, but I wanted to specifically show you how I colored my chickadees. So I started with my C1, my YR21, and my I believe it was, C2. All right. So the first thing I did, whoops, they're rolling away on me. So the first thing I'm going to do is for each of my little chickadees, right down from their tail, kind of swipe out on their belly, just like that. And that's going to give me that traditional chickadee look. And next I'm going to come in with the C1 and just flick out from their body here. And I'm doing it the same on all three. And I'm going right over the top of the YR21 that I laid down. Yeah, that's it, YR21. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come in with the C2 and just do their little tails and wings a little bit and add just a little bit of shadow here on the face. Not a lot, but just a little bit to give that over on that edge darker. Now I'm just going to come back and blend that out with my C1. And that is how I colored up my little chickadees. Now if you want their little bellies to have a little bit of brighter color, you can go back over with your YR21 I'll show you what that looks like. And I did that on some of them, but not on all of them. But that just kind of highlights that yellow belly that the traditional chickadee has. So that is how I colored my chickadees. Now for all the birdhouse, I used the sea grays. And for all the pinks, I used my favorite pink combination, which is the RV13 and the RV11. And that just always gives such a nice, sweet pink color. It's one of my favorite colors for pink. And I'll do my little flower cluster here. And then I just came back in with the darker color to just kind of add a little darker color to the center of the flowers. For my birdhouse, I just did all the side shadow there in the darker, the RV13, and then the side of the roof in my lighter color. And that is really all I did for the coloring. Now for my branches, I did use the Ys, and I used the Y 1, 2, and 3 to do my branches, and just started with the dark color towards the base, then went over with the 2, then went over with the 1, and gave the dimensionality there to my branches. So that's really all I did for the coloring. And let's go ahead and set that aside. So once I did that, I went ahead and die cut all of my pieces using the coordinating die set, which is also in the warehouse clearance. So you can pick this die set up with the stamp set at a really good price right now. And there you see I have all of my pieces colored and cut out. So we'll go ahead and set those aside for now. And for my window scene, I used the Postage Window A2 die set. And I die cut that 3 times out of white. I do have it 3 times. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and layer those up. And you can see that on one of my cards, I used a piece of colored paper. And let's see, I had that set pulled, but I think I put it away. But one of the papers that are in the last chance section, the 6x6 paper pads, has combinations of blues and purples with stripes and different patterns on them, but they're just kind of ranges of blues and purples. And that is the set that I got this piece of paper from. So I did it both ways. I did one with a colored and one with just white, but I decided today I would go with the white. We're going to kind of do a combination of the other two that I did, and I'll show you how I am going to change it up just a little bit. But just going to quickly glue these together. And, you know, this is just a thing you can do to give your die cuts some dimension without having to use foam strips. Okay. There we go. Hi, Robin. How are you this morning? Oh, thank you. You like this card? I did too. I really enjoyed making this spring card. Has the weather been just horrible where you are, Robin? Or Robbie, sorry, it's Robbie. I don't have my, it's like with my glasses on, I can see my table and what I'm doing, but it's harder to read the screen. And then when my glasses are off, I can see the screen, but it's harder to see what I'm doing. So it's a catch-22 there. Okay, so there is our frame all ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that aside with my die cuts. And today we are going to we're going to skip the stencil. Now, if you look at my 2 that I made before, you can see that on this one, I did not use the stencil, and on this one, I did use the stencil. So you see like a white outline. When you use the stencil for this stamp, it does give you a white outline inside your box. So both ways create a lovely window scene, but for today, I think I'm going to go this way. So I'm not actually going to use the stencil, but it is a great addition if you're going to have that die. So here we go. And I had a piece of paper all cut down to the right size. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay, so I cut this down 1/4 inch on both sides. And today I'm going to use some salvage patina. So this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and just add this pretty blue color to the whole piece. And this is one of those projects that you certainly don't have to do like the most perfect ink blending you've ever done, because it's going to be a window scene. It's a sky back there. So, you know, you don't have to have that perfect. You've been a bit rainy and you're in, but not, oh, in Northern California. Well, you are fortunate because I have a lot of family in the Indiana area and they're having a lot of cold and rain. And then here in Texas, it has been raining just nonstop for the last several days. So we're finally getting a break from it today, but it's still just cold and damp. Add just a little more right over in here. All right, so once you get your piece all inked up, when you die cut this piece, you're going to end up with just piles of this. Like when you die cut it 3 times, you're going to have a lot of these little pieces. So one thing we're going to do real quick is I'm going to take 4 of those little pieces, and when we're done making our Chickadee card, I'm going to have a little bonus project for us today. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that same salvage patina right here on these 4 little pieces. Don't know quite what to call them. Postage stamps, I guess. They have that postage stamp edge. Okay. All right. That makes us all done with our ink blending. I can get that back in there. All right, I'm just going to set those aside. So we have our pieces right here. I believe we are ready to construct our card. Let me grab a card base here. I want to separate. There we go. Pull that up. Use my Whimsy bone folder here. It looks like I got ink all over my fingers. And the first thing I'm going to do before I put it down on my card is go ahead and glue my frame to my ink blended piece. There we go. You wish you had exciting weather. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, change in weather is good, but I don't know, that hard rain. My daughter and I went down to Houston, which is about a little over an hour from us here, and we were doing things for her upcoming wedding. And driving back from Houston to the town I live in, it was raining so hard we had to pull off the side of the road, and there was like flash flooding, and it was a little more excitement than I needed. And my daughter, she literally slept the whole way through all of it. I couldn't believe it. It was just as well, because I was a little bit scared, and I don't scare easily, but I was getting nervous. Whoops, I put that on crooked. Let me try again. All right, there we go. But we got home safe and sound, and I was mighty glad to pull into the garage when I got home. I was glad I had a garage. All right, so there we go. We've got these pieces on. Hope I don't need to do that. And now before I start gluing down, I'm just going to kind of lay out how I want this. So I'm going to kind of lay out my pieces. And one thing I'm going to do, see the little string that's for the birdhouse? I'm actually going to glue that to the birdhouse before I put it on my card. Just going to add some glue. And then and you can manipulate how long the string is by doing that. And because I've made this twice before, I kind of have an idea of how long I wanted my string to be. But that is about where I want that. I'm going to put this little piece under here. I'm also going to go ahead and glue on my little Chickadee onto my birdhouse. And he's just going to be standing right here, welcoming his friends on home. And this one is flying, so he's going to be up over here. And then this other little branch I'm going to put here and put our other little Chickadee standing on the branch. And we'll go ahead and glue him onto the branch as well. Let's see. There we go. All right, so now that we have that done, before I start gluing it all down, I want to add my sentiment right here in the center square. And for this one, from the Chickadee stamp set, I'm going to use Hello Chickadee. Thank you. Yeah, it was, I have to say, like I said, I don't scare all that easily, but I was actually driving my husband's electric car, and I felt like I was going to run out of electric, and the roads were flooding, and I was starting to get really nervous. I was uh, really glad to pull in the garage. It was, I think if I had known it was going to be so bad, I would have stayed home. However, we did get a lot done. We ordered her wedding cake and we talked with the florist, and they are working up a design for the wedding. So we're very excited. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment in the same London fog. And let's see here. There we go. And then Chickadee. We're going to go with Chickadee. All right, there we go. They're such small words. I felt pretty confident I could stamp that without having to use a stamping block. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue down our pieces. So I have 2 sons and a daughter, and I've been mother of the groom twice, and so I'm very excited to be mother of the bride. We're having a lot of fun, the 2 of us. So I'm going to position this right up here at the top, and I wanted my little flower to kind of hang down in that window. Now, I'm not doing it today, but one thing you can do is use some really thin pieces of foam to put under some of these pieces that are in the window if you're going to be mailing it and you're concerned about that getting squished down. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue here on this one. Now, I do think on this one, he's going to need a little piece of foam, for sure. Just right out here. All right. So, Robin, do you have this Chickadee set? I keep calling you Robin. Robbie, do you have this Chickadee set already? It is quickly becoming one of my favorites. I really had a good time making these cards. Just going to angle that down a little bit. All right, and then we'll put our little flyer, and he's another one that's going to need just a little bit of foam because he's mostly in this open square. There we go. All right, now I think this card looks lovely, just like this. But I love to add just a little bit of sparkle. So we are going to take a glue pen, and right in the center of all the flowers, I'm just putting a little dot of glue from the glue pen here. And then I'm just going to sprinkle it with a little glitter. Am I out of the tray? I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, can you see that little sparkle that it gives? I don't know if you can see it. In person, though, it really adds a lot just to have those flowers sparkle a little bit. And to finish it off, I have some little silver sequins, and I'm just going to add some. All right. And this is the way I do sequins. I start with my glue and I just tap it around where I feel like I want a sequin, and then I come back with my jewel picker, and this is where you have a chance to kind of make some decisions on the sizes that you want. Many of the sequin mixes will have different sizes, sometimes different colors. So that can be where you, you know, mix it up a little bit. There we go. I think I want to use the smaller ones down here. And if I have a medium one in my tray here, I'll use a medium. There we go. All right, there we go. Didn't this card come together quickly? It's such a sweet little spring card. I'm happy to have 3 of them made and ready to go. And there we go. Thank you. So did you have a favorite? Did you like it with the blue background or do you like the white? I really liked both of them equally. I had a hard time deciding which way to go. So, all right. Now we have these 4 little pieces like that. And I'm going to show you my huge pile of these things I have over here because I made this card several times. So I just have tons of these little things. I'm like, I got to think of something to do with these. So I'm going to quickly show you a card I made, and we're going to go ahead and make that as well. I've made this sweet kind of bonus card out of our little postage stamp pieces. So I have gone ahead, and for this card, I used these 3 products. I used the Hedgy Love, the Bold Alphabet, and the Daisy embossing folder. Oh, I also used this one right here. This is the Slimline Scenic Countryside, and I used the grass piece from that. So we'll just quickly put this one together. I've got it all ready to go. There's my glue. Oh, hello, Nancy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nancy's such a talented maker there that thank you so much that she likes these. I had fun this week. It was raining so much that I just had fun in my craft room. There we go. So using our little postage stamps to create a banner can be a fun way to use those up. And I'm going to come up with some more ideas to use. This one's kind of an obvious idea, but still a fun way to go. And I'm going to position them here on my piece. And here's my 4 pieces I went ahead and colored up. And I think I'm going to have to raise it up on this one because of it's a little bit shorter. It's my embossing folder was a little shorter than my card here, so I knew I was going to have to fit that in a little differently. But I am going to put it in on a frame, so my frame will go off. So it's okay if his tail hangs off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and position him and then plug this in underneath and then go from there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see, maybe I'll lower him down just a little bit. So there he goes. That way he doesn't cover up the Y so much. All right, now we'll just kind of build our banner. We have 2 babies coming in February in my family. My cousin's daughter and my sister's daughter are both due in early March, so we have 2 baby showers coming up. So I have my cards all ready to go. All right. So sweet. I just love how this turned out. All right, now in my sample here, I just used my pen to kind of draw and put a little string, you know, and there we go. And you can kind of connect them if you have room there and finish those out to be done. Now for my little flowers, I just cut those apart. And then I didn't glue down the top on purpose because I'm going to just slide these right underneath so that you cannot see that grass. Just like that. And we're going to position our flowers. I can get my fingernail under there. There we go. All right, so this is just kind of a little bonus project that gives you an idea of how to use up some of these scrap pieces that you'll end up with when you make your Chickadee card. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything we did today. And I love that sweet embossing folder. Can you see that under there? Like I said, on the original, I was just kind of playing around. I didn't really plan on sharing this one, but it turned out so cute, I couldn't resist sharing it. So there we go. All right. So there's some ideas for you. If you're card making this week, I hope you'll give some of these a try. Let's go ahead and switch our camera back. There we go. All right. Well, I hope you're enjoying the weather where you are, and hopefully the spring is a-coming and the sun will be shining and the birds will be chirping. So we are looking forward to that. And I hope whatever you're doing this week that you just have a blessed and wonderful week. And thank you so much for crafting with me. I look forward to Thursdays at noon so that we can come together and craft. So don't forget about that last chance. And if you are interested in any of the products I used today, they are linked in the description below the video. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.